Hey subscribers, and I'm makeup lovers. I'm not Syria, and I'm back with another tutorial. And this one is good. So I've already prepped the face, and now we're going in with some work. So I'm starting off with L'Oreal Infallible. That's gonna be the products I'm using for the foundation. So this is foundation, but I'm using it as concealer. This is shade 525. And we're going into all the highlighted areas of the face with this shade. This is dark skin girl friendly, so be sure to stay to the end. So we're making sure we blend out this shade all in before we go to our next step. So we want full coverage. We want to make sure we cover all the areas. You want to use patting motions and just keep blending. Blend over the nose, blend around those nose rings if they have them. Blend very good on the side of the nose and by the upper lip and where the nose meet. All those creases, you want to make sure you get that. And make sure you get close to under the eye as well. So we already looking good with our base. Our girl is blended. I'm just making sure I pack that in very well. You don't want a lot of makeup just sitting up on the face, so make sure you blend down as much as possible. Now I'm going in with the same shade on the forehead. I usually go in with a deeper shade, but this shade is okay for me, so I stuck with the same color for the forehead. So we're looking good. We protecting our baby hairs. We're not getting makeup all over the baby hairs. If you can't protect the baby hairs, use tape or use a napkin or something to protect the baby hairs. Me, I'm pretty seasoned, so I feel like I don't gotta do that. Or cover it up with your hand if you don't have one of those options. So now I'm doing a chin. You don't want to get makeup on the lip for real, but you also don't want to tell your clients to close their mouth, like tuck their lips in, because that causes creases and the makeup not to be applied all the way right there on the side of the lips. So now I'm going in with shade 530 or 535, and I'm applying this all over the lower parts of the face. You see me doing it, and I'm blending it with that other color as well, making sure those two colors blend seamlessly, and they do. We don't want to tear the beginning to the end. The neck is matching. We don't have a problem with that. L'Oreal got the best foundation for dark skins. Really all the way around, but they darker shades are top tier. Seriously. I'm going to go in with shade 540 for the forehead. And you just want to blend, blend, blend. I started from the middle of the forehead, and I'm working my way up towards the lace. And you don't want to get makeup all over those baby hair, so definitely be careful. And look how we just blended it together. So seamless, so perfect. Blend, blend, blend. And the forehead definitely gets a lot of tension, especially right here between the eyebrows, that center. You want to make sure that part is seamless as possible. So now I'm going in with my AMC Cosmetics palette. the Marabou palette by Anaya's Makeup Creation. I love, love, love this palette. I told you guys in my last short about this palette. So I'm using the purplish, the plum shade, the dark brown shade, and the darkest orange shade. And I mix all those three, just pat them on my brush, and then I go in and I just warm up those darker areas, my contour areas. So I'm going to do the same thing with the cheeks. I'm going to go in with the dark brown shade and the plum shade, and I'm going to contour the sides of my client's face. We're going for a snatch soft look. So these are the levels. These are the steps. So I'm making sure I blend that contour in very well. Getting it real deep because I know I want to go in and I'm going to add that powder. So I want to get it as deep as possible. And I want those two, the highlight and the contours, to be seamless. So I'm doing the same side, the same thing with the other side of the face. I'm contouring with the Marabou palette, using the plum shade and a dark brown shade. So you can go on with like anything from like burgundy down to like a deep purple and a dark brown, one of your darkest brown shades. Blend those two together on your brush, and then start from the outwards part of the face to the inner part of the face and blend it. Now this is eyeshadow and I'm using it as contour. So any type of powder or eyeshadow that you have that matches my description, use that. I'm doing the same thing for under the chin. This is just to give depth and to keep the makeup seamless. I feel like this part can give a little cast under the chin, so I always deepen it. Now I'm going in with shade 545 in the L'Oreal Infallible foundation. This is the darkest shade that they have. It's very deep, very pigmented, as you can see from the other colors. I love, 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 love this foundation. I don't know how many times I can say it, but I'm using this to contour her nose. And I'm just going to blend out my lines to get them as soft as possible. But I still want that contour on her nose to show. So I'm just using patted motions. Pat, 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 pat. And I'm blending out those edges. Softening out her edges of the makeup on her nose. Because we want a snatch look for sure. And then even more snatching comes in when we set with the powder. Contouring the nose does a lot to the face for sure. How you contour the nose does a lot to the face, and how much you contour the nose does a lot to the face. Everyone doesn't need harsh contouring, so contour as needed. My client has a slightly wider nose, so I want to make sure she's snatched. Be sure to adjust to your client's needs and liking. So now I'm going in with the Maybelline setting powder in shade 344, and I'm using the smaller brushes to get under those creases where it may have crease under her eyes where she has fine lines, and I'm softening it out. Then I'm going in with the powder. So now I'm going in with a bigger brush, the same brush that I used for the face this whole time. And I'm going in with shade 344 again, just more powder and a bigger brush. The powder is going to lighten her, but it's not going to lighten her too much. If your client does not like a real Loud highlight. I would suggest going in with a deeper shade. You can use 355 or 360, or use less product. I'm being heavy-handed on the product because I want this to blend seamlessly with her contour. As you can see, that little line that she had with her contour is pretty much gone. And we have lifted her face and brought more attention to the highlighted areas versus the contour area. So again, if your client doesn't like this much, going with a deeper shade when using powder, or be light-handed with this powder. Also, this is going to tone down when she gets set with the setting spray. Of course, it's powder, so it's going to melt and blend in with the foundation shade color that I used. So now I'm going in with shade 355 on the lower face, and I'm snatching that contour underneath. So on this step, you see me going straight across and I use one side. Make sure you get the full bottom from that point all the way down to the jawline, so you won't have like any indentation marks or anything like any flashback lighting, because that can happen. So make sure you blend that all the way through, and make sure you smooth those lines out. So my client's looking snatched here. How y'all feeling? Is y'all face giving snatch right now? Is y'all following along? Is y'all gonna use this tutorial for y'all dark skin clients? It's any of my dark skin people out there watching. It's like, oh, I gotta use this video on myself. What y'all thinking? Tell me y'all thoughts. Drop y'all comments. So now I'm using the shade 362 in the Maybelline powder. This shade is very deep and very kind of bland. I would suggest using 360. I kind of messed up, but I kind of fixed it. So I went in and I tapped like 355 and a little of like a tan orange color, and blended it on top of the 362 because it was too ashy for me. So I didn't like that. So now on the side of the nose, I'm making sure I snatch up those little side pieces. And I'm going in with shade 355 mixed with 344. So I'm making sure this blend. I'm swiping off all excess powder. You see me fixing that forehead and blending it out. Make sure you don't have any harshness in that forehead area. You want to keep it seamless, so start lowest possible and then blend your way up into the forehead, so there won't be any powdery look right there. Now I'm going in back with the Marabou palette, and I'm using that plum shade. This plum shade goes well with dark skins. And like I said, you can use any plum shade like burgundy or a dark purple. I was just blending those two together until you find your perfect mix. So I didn't put any concealer or anything on the eyelids before putting this on here. If you have to do that for this type of look, then your eyeshadow is just simply not good. Other eyeshadow palettes that I recommend is Juvia's Place, Morphe, the Profusion palettes are good. They're definitely a go-to of mine. Of course, the Marabou palette that I'm using right now. Beauty by Melissa's palette is good for sure. I love those dark shades that she has in her palette. Well, one of her older palettes, the color palette that she has. So, yeah. Now I'm going in with J. LaRue Cosmetics Ghost Pigment. This is a white pigment, and I have fell in love with it so much. Go get it. J. LaRue always running a sale. J. LaRue got the best pigments, really, hands down. So I'm like blending it out, giving it like a airbrush look, a blown out look. I want it to be non-defined as possible, but I still wanted to show up. So I'm making sure I blend out those edges into their darker color, but still making it pop. So again, like I said, this is the Ghost Pigment. It's white. It doesn't have like really any shimmer to it, but it's a pigment, so it's 10 times better than eyeshadow, and I definitely recommend. So now I'm just brushing off any excess pigment that has fell into the makeup look. I just easily take a clean dry brush, and just swipe away. If you have any like problems with swiping away the makeup, you can add powder to your brush, and then just a light amount of powder, and then swipe away. So right here, I thought my client was the OG, and she blinked as soon as I got the liner on there. So yeah, we almost had a bag. But she knows what to do. She knows what to do. She knows what's going on. We don't cry over here. We real OGs. We don't cry. We don't cry. So I'm applying black liner. This is a black liquid liner from LA Colors. And she cried just a little bit, but not much. Not to where she missed the makeup up. So I'm just like getting like eye boogers out. That really matters. Get your clients eye boogers out before you start doing their makeup for real, because that causes them to get teary-eyed easily when doing their makeup. I have noticed that. Like, my clients that be crying, I make sure I go in and get those eye boogers out. It might be like deep up in there, so you gotta go and search for the eye boogers. So she like dancing to keep herself from crying, cause she know like I'm not playing this shit. I'm not playing it. I be really so mad in my head, like I be on fire, but I just let the tear dry up, and then we go from there. So your client does cry, let the tears dry, and then you go back in and you fix the makeup if need to be. Most of the time it dries right up like it was never there. So now I'm going in with the angle brush pressed together, and I'm doing like a dark brown eyeshadow and a black eyeshadow mixed together, and I'm just doing like fine lines, fine strokes. I'm not overlining the brows. I'm doing the exact natural brows that she already have, and I'm adding her a little strokes to the front with a little more depth, because she doesn't have much eyebrows in the front. Her tail is pretty defined. I gave her a nice arch before we started with the prepping work. And I don't want to go too deep, but I want a definitely defined brow. So that other brow's looking good. Now this brow's looking good. I'm still going to give you guys a brow tutorial. It's coming soon. It's coming soon. Yeah. So the brows are pretty much done. My girl's looking good. I'm feeling this beat for sure. It's getting snatched up. Don't play with it. Who said something about me? Don't say nothing about me. Don't talk to me. For real. So I love this glue. I'm using LA Colors clear eyelash glue. You can find this at your local Family Dollar, Dollar Tree. I don't know where else you can find it. You can probably find it online. Order you a whole bunch. I love going to Dollar Tree and just picking up me a whole bunch of these. It comes 2 in a pack, and it's just the best. It's the best to me. And my eyes, the lashes stay on all day. You could be heavy-handed if you need to. I recommend letting the glue dry for at least a minute and 30 seconds. It's gonna be super tacky after a minute and 30 seconds. And you can do what you want to do. If not a minute and 30 seconds, 2 minutes. You can do whatever you need to do and come back and then put your lashes on like a piece of cake. So now I'm overlining / outlining. I'm doing both. I'm using liner, but I'm doing the overline lip. I'm getting on the meaty part, the meaty light part of my client's skin around her lips to give her illusion of a bigger lip, a juicier lip, which I personally love. I hope if you sit in my chair that you personally love it, because 9 out of 10 you're gonna get it. And if you don't want it, please let me know before I do it. That just, make my blood boil, when y'all do that. Cause I'm gonna give you an overnight lip. I just love it. It's a look, and we like juicy over here. So now I'm going in with concealer. I used to always do this lip like a few years back, but I kind of got away from it and I started doing major pinks and all that. So now I'm getting back into loving the nudes, the nude, like the tan nude, which I want to give my client this look on today. So I went in with the e.l.f. concealers, the matte ones, the 16-hour ones. And I did like a darker shade brown. That's kind of like my client's shoulder color. And then I went in with the lighter shade. And I just mixed those two together. And we got this lip. This lip is giving. So, I'm going in with a little mascara. You don't want no makeup lashes or tan lashes underneath those script lashes. So, put some mascara on, babe. My client's eye was big enough to put the whole lash on without me cutting it. So, that turned out perfect for the both of us. And I always ask my clients how the lashes feel. We don't want to irritate the eye. If they lie, then that's on them. Hey, I can't do nothing about that. We gonna keep it pushing. So my client said the lashes felt good. They wasn't too close to the inner corner of her eye. Blink a couple times. You got it. That's good by me. So now I'm adding blush, a shimmer blush, and that. I'm using a 35G palette from Morphe, which Morphe no longer sells. But I got like 5 of these palettes in storage, so I'm going to use them to the very end because this is my favorite palette. But I'm using like a pink, peachy, rose gold, something purple pink shimmer blush. And when I say this just gave a look another level, it did. Now I've been using regular blush, but this shimmer blush, this doing it. By the way, this is eyeshadow, so I'm calling it blush because I'm using it as a blush, placement and blush color. So if you got a blush that's like similar to this, a rosy, deep plum peach mix, then go in. And remember to start from the outer face to the inner face. And I did do my client's face from the side, but you also want to make sure her front profile is very blended. So you want the side profile to give, but you want that front profile to definitely be seamless. So I had to go in and add a little bit more powder right there because, the tear got a little wet and get a little something. So it's not what a little quick fix could do. So you see me going on top of that blush color, just adding just a light amount of powder so it can be seamless for her front profile. Not a lot, just a dab, literally. So you see that side profile is giving my client feeling herself, and we're not even done yet, but we almost done. So now I'm going in with highlighter. This is a Profusions palette. This is like a rose gold, a deep rose gold. And I always use for like my brown to dark skin clients, medium brown to dark skin clients, because it just goes well with their skin tone. And for the center between the eyes, I'm going in with like a gold and a nude pink shimmer, just to, you know, bring dimension. So now I'm setting the face with setting spray, setting mist, mattifying mist, hydrating mist, and y'all know I can't never remember the other one, but I mix all these three in a bottle and I spray the girls down. So I was kind of light-handed, but I sprayed her down enough to where I got the powder to melt down. So we giving it a little fan. I did kind of spray her a lot on one side of the face. I had to go in and like tap it because it was kind of runny. You don't want that. Make sure you don't have any like running areas. But my girl is looking so good. And I did this before I applied the lip gloss, because sometimes the lip gloss can, when it gets wet, it's like it just, it eats up the lip. So do that step before the lip gloss for sure. So now I'm going in with the Pretty Guys Cosmetic lip gloss. It's a shimmer nude gloss, literally like the same color as this lip combo. And it just went perfectly on top of that lip combo that I did. So definitely go grab that. It's the only nude lip gloss, nude shimmer lip gloss on there. And this is really the end results, you guys. My girl looks good. Drop your comments below. Drop your feedback below. Let me know in the comments anything you want to leave. It needs to know that I did not say. I'm going to try to drop all the links below. But as you can see, my client loved it. I loved it. And we give it a 10 out of 10. I'll see you guys next time.